Chasing Points is back. It's episode 174 of the Chasing Points podcast. We do have Harrison back. I'm not going to say anything about that. We have Brendan. We have Sam. But I will start, all jokes aside, and I've already wished these gentlemen this, but I'll do it on air so there's evidence. Happy Father's Day to you guys. These gentlemen are three amazing fathers, Brendan being the newest father of them all, first Father's Day. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to take the time and give you guys your respect for that because doing this is hard. So it was... Good
time. Not where I thought you were going.
I know. I got to keep you guys on your toes. So there's that. Now, gentlemen, how was your Father's Day?
Low key. Just did a little golf, hung out, watched the U.S. Open, and, just enjoyed the fruits of my labor.
Wow. Well said, my friend.
We're off to a roaring start here.
There you go.
Mine was nice. Spent it with family. Like you said, it was my first one. It was nice. Did some yard work.
Oh, first one? Yeah, it's the first one.
On the grill, so it was nice.
Look, you're already getting acclimated to Father's Day.
Exactly. I'm still doing all the work, so, Okay. I'm just kidding. Chelsea, if you listen to this.
She might.
I love you very much.
She's going to cut you.
If I'm not on next week,
we know why for sure. That is for sure. Yeah.
Blink twice, bro.
Yeah, she's behind my camera here.
Good luck, man. Let us know how that goes.
Sam, you,
Appreciate
sir?
it.
Yeah, no, it was good. Low key, just family, hung out with the kids and saw my parents, and life's good, man. No complaints.
Good. Well, I'm glad you gentlemen enjoyed your Father's Day. You deserve it. All jokes aside, I will not say anything that I shouldn't say. Let's get into some basketball. Just jump right into it. So tonight, when we're recording this, you will hear this the day after, so you will know the results. But when we're recording this, the series is tied 2-2 after OKC evened it on Friday.
The Homa,
yes. OKC is home. They're the home team for this game. Gentlemen, what is your thoughts for this series so far? Brendan, this excludes you.
Good series.
Brendan, how much basketball have you watched in the last week?
None.
Do you know who the Oklahoma City Thunder are?
The Homa. The Thunder is rolling.
How much hockey have you watched this week?
A little bit.
Okay, see?
That's been a hell of a series, but we'll get to that later.
The white stain with whites.
I'll let you guys
The white
go.
stain with whites.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Gentlemen, what is your thoughts on this series so far?
Well, I predicted it would be a short one. I'm very happy to be wrong. I'm not going to make any more predictions for this series. It is one of the wildest series I've ever seen play out in the finals. Like, we normally don't get this. Mm-hmm. Usually you get a favorite, and it kind of plays out how you would expect with the NBA. It's not, it's not a league with a tremendous amount of parity, and usually there's a lot of super teams. Both these teams are amazing. And I didn't give the Pacers enough credit for being able to withstand all the tempo that they play with. And they're still doing it, and they're pushing the Thunder to their brink. The Pacers had them dead to rights in Game 4. Like, this series should easily be 3-1 Pacers, and I would have been like, I just did not see that coming. But, SGA had, a remarkable bit of play in the last 5 minutes. I mean, scored 15 points, the most in the last 5 minutes ever, I think it was. But it was just a tremendous stretch of play. He saved them. And now we're headed to Game 5, where I truly have no idea what could happen. It's been quarter to quarter, minute to minute. Like, just the swings in this series have been super fun and interesting to watch. And it hasn't just been like, all right, I'm going to tune into the fourth and figure it out. Like, the whole game has been just high intensity for 4 straight games. So hopefully we get 3 more. Honestly, just give me 3 more of these and I'll be happy. I really don't care who wins.
Yeah, I think this playoffs, I mean, we've been saying it for 2 months now. It's just anything we think is going to happen, it's kind of the exact opposite. I feel like there was an NFL season a couple years ago like that, where we were just wrong on so many different things because, the parity's there. But yeah, these are 2 really well-matched teams, and they kind of mitigate each other in a lot of different things. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I thought it was going to be a shorter series too, but happy to watch some good basketball. Hope it continues. Going back to OKC, I mean, both places are showing that they're tough to play, and really interesting that there wasn't a game last night. I thought Father's Day would have been like that would have been a nice Sunday night, prime time ratings kind of thing. But whatever. Yeah, so should be fun today. When's the next one? Thursday? I'm just assuming, but
I think Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I agree.
I have no idea.
It was really weird.
At this point.
Really weird that they didn't, capitalize on last night. They played Friday, so I mean, you still got 2 days rest, 1 day rest, but I don't know. They definitely should have played yesterday. I don't know why they did that scheduling wise.
Yeah, usually you want the Thursday, Sunday ratings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably get a better rating on a Thursday night than a Friday night, but it's been a fun series. Yeah.
I think the ratings overall will just be disappointing because of the markets that are in this, but I could care less. I think the basketball has been amazing, and
totally.
I'm excited for like just the future of the NBA if it's like this. I mean, it's truly any team can win it, if you build it up right, and they all have a chance, which is fun to go into a season and fun to go into a playoffs like that. It's what the NFL has done well for so long. You have the Chiefs, but they lost, so it's anyone's game. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
They did lose.
They did lose. Yep. I don't know. Why did I open that door for him?
I don't know, but you did.
Yeah.
For those that have said, and I'll rewind back to a few episodes ago, several. For those that said that there is no defense played in basketball anymore. For those that said that this game of basketball is not exciting or it can't stack up to what basketball was in the 90s, I highly encourage you to go and watch this series. There's potentially 3 games left. I don't care if you root for anybody or not. If you like basketball or were a fan of basketball and you were disconnected from the game, this is an opportunity for you to get back in because the series is phenomenal. I thought the Olympics would have been a perfect time for you to get back in because that was also phenomenal as well. But if you didn't want to go and do that, you have an opportunity now.
I saw a side-by-side a couple days ago of like they played like the 2014 Heat Spurs and then like the Thunder Pacers.
Yeah, the spacing. Yeah, the spacing is crazy. Nuts.
It's just like a completely different game.
Is.
And you don't watching it every year. You don't realize the progression, but seeing them side by side, and that's just like 10 years ago that it's changed is so much. The game's just in a wildly different place. And
to add a little context
watch it, your
to
fault.
that, what Harrison and I are talking about is the finals when it was the Heat Spurs, right? That's who it was, Heat Spurs.
Yep.
LeBron was on the corner of the free throw line, and they gave him so much space at that point in time. And basically people were moving around, and nobody was playing basically on the perimeter. It was just dribble, penetrate, pass out. Whereas now it's everybody's out on the perimeter, spaced out. There's so much space in the middle. Going from there, and you can move from there. It's night and day. But again, this is 10 years ago. Steph wasn't in the league then, but the game has adapted to the way that he played and how they shoot, and that's made that spacing different. I would love to see Harrison what it is now compared to like the Bulls and Utah Jazz, a series like that, to see the complete difference of what the game is at this point. Again, I know, and sorry, gentlemen, that I'm doing this. I know as we get older, and we are getting in that bracket, as we get older, we conform.
Sure are.
We are, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately. We are accustomed to certain things that we like, and we don't want to change the things that we like, okay? We grew up in certain things. We loved it the way it was. It's a part of our life's fabric is the way that it is. But some things are good to change, and some things are making it better and more exciting. It's just being willing to and open to accept it. And I think that's the best part of where the NBA is at. The players are more athletic. You're seeing more scoring, which is what anybody wants to go see when they go to an event. They want to see scoring. They want to be entertained in a certain way. I love defense. I definitely know I'm a person that loves defense. When it's football, basketball, whatever the case, I love defense. I love seeing somebody essentially almost getting shut out. But I hate going to a Yankee game and seeing a one-run game wins the game. Like that's all I see the whole time, right? It's a part of the game, and I love that as well. But when you go there, you want to see excitement, right? You want to see that, and I think that's what you're getting with this product, no matter what you do. Period.
I think variety is the spice of life. The more styles, they can compete, the better. And we're seeing that now. There's just multitude of different styles in the NBA. It's not just one homogenous style, which I think it was for a little bit of time between that like 2014 and now, where it was just like, all right, everyone's going to try to shoot threes and be like the Warriors, but not everyone has that personnel. Now you're seeing more and more teams with that personnel that can stretch the floor, but also play different styles and do different things along the way. So it's only good for evolution's only good for all of us as far as like the product that we're watching and just life in general. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I think the new salary cap or whatever it is with the new CBA is going to change a lot of things too.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
It's not like the Warriors from 10 years ago, Hayes, where you just write the check.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like there's severe ramifications for extending these tiers or whatever it is. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and hopefully for just fans of basketball continue to just see a more diverse product.
Before we move to the next part, gentlemen, I know Harrison already said he doesn't know what's going to happen, but I'm gonna hold all your feet to the fire. Who do you have now that we are tied 2-2? We've seen 4 games in total. Are we all picked OKC, the Homa, for this one? Do we all still stick with our pick, or has anybody changed at this point?
I just want to call out. I was going to pick the Pacers to
you were to give you that
to go against because you guys all picked OKC. But our basketball expert or NBA analyst and insider here, Mr. Baker, said, nope, you got to go with OKC. They're going to win this by a landslide.
I was wrong.
So, note to self: don't listen to Harrison.
Don't listen to me. I don't want.
He's even worse at picking football games.
Oh my God,
there we go.
Terrible.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's really bad. It's a sight.
It is a sight.
I just go off vibes, man.
Yeah, well, you need to get your vibes
All about
checked.
the vibes.
Get your frequency right. It's off.
I want to switch and say the Pacers, but I just can't get around the fact that the Pacers could be NBA champions. I don't know. I just can't see it. It's gonna happen. I bet it happens.
The only reason
I have no idea, but I could see
the
it.
only reason I'd be okay with the Pacers winning, which I really don't care if they win or lose. I do really want to see the Thunder win, but I'd be happy to see the Pacers win just because I know what social media is going to do when it comes to Halliburton. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I kind of referenced it a couple podcasts ago, maybe last one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go peruse the internet. Just type in Halliburton and what they call him at this point in time. Caitlin Clark has now been a part of this and added to this, which I will share with you guys after. But
welcome back, Caitlin Clark.
I'm sticking with OKC. I am.
Yeah, they're just a better team, and I know there's been moments from Halliburton and Siakam offensively, but SGA doing what he did at the end of that game is just another wrinkle, and really just the foundation of this team where they can play such stellar defense, but still just continue to score and score. Yeah, so I think the Thunder are a better team, and they'll figure it out.
I think I want OKC because it matches like the trajectory that I'm used to. Okay, this team has been, first round, second round. They've been around and kind of have built this thing. They are still super young, but I worry for like the questions that come after this. Like if they were to lose and I still think they stay the course, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like the Pacers are just ahead of schedule, but that's kind of the way everything is working now. And I don't know. I can't wrap my head around saying Indiana Pacers NBA Finals NBA champions.
Well, most Knicks fans also can't wrap their heads around that either. So to be fair,
it's weird to say Thunder too. Like a Thunder team that doesn't have
Kevin Durant,
KD, Russ
Westbrook, James Harden. Yeah,
that is weird. But they've just been in the mix for a long time. When you think of the Russ, Harden, KD team, and then. They were still there kind of with just KD and Russ and still in the conference finals, and they've just been around for a while while the Pacers they haven't been here, but they seem like the more experienced team right now, especially late in games. Like the Thunder have looked pretty lost aside from like SJ pulling off some amazing heroics.
3 things to shout out before we move on. Shout out to Sam Presti because he's the reason that's happening and the longevity of what Harrison's talking about. 2, we've talked about the players, but I think the biggest chess match here is the coaches, and it's Rick Carlisle the former champion. What's the head coach of the Thunder? I keep
Mark
there
Daniel.
you go. Against the youngin over here, right? Rick Carlisle's scheme has literally made the Thunder alter their whole game plan and their personnel that they've had to put on there. And it's been a chess match that I've enjoyed watching this whole time. Third, it's not really, well, it is a shout out, but it's a backwards shout out. Kawhi Leonard. Hey, bud, remember that guy SGA that you could have had on your team? Clippers fans, remember how your franchise just sucks and continues to suck? Enjoy yourselves.
You can also shout out Paul George in that same vein because he's kind of built both of these teams.
That's very true. That is very true.
He really has.
Shout out to Paul George, the best GM in the league. Trade. A trade that would not happen in NBA 2K. You would immediately get rejected and laughed out of your franchise.
The virtual GM would just curse at you.
It wouldn't happen. The Grizzlies traded for Desmond Bain, or they traded Desmond Bain, to the Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks and a pick swap. The question that is posed here by one of you lovely gentlemen that wrote this is my thoughts on the trade. It's absolutely ridiculous because I think it was who was the one that said about Luka? Was it Harrison or Sam in our group chat?
Me. Yeah, I said more than Luka.
The fact that it is 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bain.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I do love this for the Magic because I already loved what they had, and I talked about it when their season was over. But now you're adding another piece like this. Cole Anthony, even though he's one of my Tar Heel guys, has not really done much. KCP is a champion and he's a key factor, but he's definitely going to be on the decline if he's not already there. But those 4 first-round picks. Man,
it's a lot. I think you have to kind of throw the Luka trade out. As stupid as that seems, like that was just.
I think that's why the Luka trade was so bad. Yeah,
but this is more in line with what the Knicks did to get Mikal Bridges. So, that's kind of the market, I guess, for like a really good wing, which Desmond Bain is. I love it for the Magic for the player they got. I think they definitely gave up too many picks. I think that's too many picks for one guy. But will it take them to the next level for them is, semis and maybe a conference finals, which is very possible in the East. The East looks more wide open by the day. So, yeah, I don't love the trade. I don't love it.
I read somewhere that the Magic were like really like in the basement with 3-point shooting, and I know Bain's like a really good 3-point shooter.
From his basement.
So that'll definitely help. But yeah, no, it's a lot. I don't think KCP is clearly the player he was when he was won that title with the Nuggets. So I think it's kind of, you're dumping that salary there. But yeah, it's just kind of the price of doing business now. Yeah. Mikal Bridges was, that was an overpay because of Brooklyn, New York kind of thing. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. It's like, oh, okay, well, Mikal Bridges hasn't made a all-star team yet. So it's just like one of those kind of moments where, all right.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm kind of more. I like this Orlando team. I mean, they still seem to have some depth here. Franz makes the jump. Does Paulo continue to show that he's one of the better players in this league?
Yes.
And I think that definitely helps. And they have some, Jalen Suggs healthy. That'll be interesting to see. And what else they can do there. I'm kind of interested to see. All right, what happens in Memphis now? And Jaren Jackson's a free agent in a couple of years, I think. Ja Morant is an enigma at this point. So really interested to see how that all gets put together.
No, I agree. It's definitely
huge win for Memphis.
It's definitely more interesting for Memphis because I think the Magic are going to be up there between good and very good with a chance maybe to get to the finals. But yeah, with the Grizzlies, that's a good point, Sam. It's like, where are we going? And there's got to be more moves after this to kind of see what type of trajectory they're on. Because right now it's not a good one. But, maybe you get a healthy Ja, and I'm just confused. Just confused by the trade.
Well, apparently they said they're not moving Ja or JJJJ.
A lot of J's.
But they said there's just basically retooling around them, which I feel they think like they needed to do. It's pretty much stale it's been still. I mean, once they got rid of Adams and Dylan Brooks, which I hope everybody gets rid of Dylan Brooks. I really can't stand Dylan Brooks. I just want to say that. I just want to take the opportunity for that. Yeah, I don't know what they do. I don't think this move is the move for them, but I guess we'll see. But I mean, those 4 first-round picks are going to help, and that's definitely going to help, especially with what you said, Harrison. Ja can't stay healthy, so they were a team that was a staple in the playoffs every year, and then the last few years is kind of like, what are we getting from?
Yeah, they're just stuck in neutral.
Yeah. Speaking of stuck in neutral, how about those Knicks? Thank you. Because we have no idea where the hell they're going with their coaching hire journey or whatever the hell you want to call this. They're on to Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins is who they're looking at this point in time. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. That's cute. I also heard the rumor that they are saying that they're interviewing all these other people just so they can justify getting Jalen Brunson's dad. And then there's other reports of saying that his teammates don't want Jalen Brunson's dad even on the staff and all this, that, and the third. I want to go back to what Brendan said on the pod. I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, when he made the statement of, I would have thought that the Knicks had somebody in mind when they did this, that they would have had somebody lined up to do this. And what I said to you guys was this feels like an old Knicks move, which is they just did something and didn't have a plan. And they've been doing so good. Like with every move that they've made up to this point, I still don't like the move of mortgaging off the first round picks, but as a Nets fan, thank you. But I still think that wasn't the smartest move. But all the moves that they have made has got them to be this relevant team again. Dolan's out of the picture. He's just sitting on the sideline, has nothing to do with the operation. They got real people in the front office, Worldwide West, doing all this. It's been great in the moves that they've made. And now we're here at the point when it's probably the most pivotal time in this franchise history to this point. And you don't have a coach in mind because potentially the players said they didn't want Tom Thibodeau. You mean the guy that got them to the conference championship that you haven't been there since 98? Make it make sense to me, because if you're going to now go and try to get somebody else, who are you going to get? We obviously know who we think they should go and get, but I haven't even heard his name at this point. With any rumors from any source, haven't heard anything. What are they doing? Maybe our insider knows. Insider, what we got?
Is that me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what Brendan called you.
Oh, I like most things, I have no idea. No, I just don't understand what I don't get it. They're so close. They're so close. Yes. And to throw that away, I thought for sure they were like, we're going to get Mike Malone. Yeah. I thought for sure that made sense. Mm-hmm. Are Mike Malone and Tom Thibodeau similar? Yeah, sure they are. But I mean, they don't need to change up that much. Yeah. Like they're operating, like you said, in a great place. Like they are relevant again. They'll still be relevant again. Like they could get Mike Brown, and Mike Brown's a good coach, and so is Taylor Jenkins, and they'll be fine. Like their roster is still very good, and the East is wide open. As much as good as the Pacers are. Wow. As good as the Pacers are, you don't have the Celtics next year in the picture. The 76ers are a disaster. Who else is competing for the East right now?
Yeah, Miami's, I mean, could Giannis single-handedly win a championship on his own? Yes, absolutely.
And that's why Giannis should push to get traded if he wants to continue to be traded to a team in the East. Do not go West. The West is loaded.
Yes. I said it when Tibbs got fired, and we started the pod a couple hours later. Like this, what did you expect? Like this is Tom Thibodeau. Like his reputation, like how he coaches, and it was fine for 5 years, and it's not now. And all we'll wait to see what it is. And you heard it was all Dolan, and then you heard it was nothing to do with Dolan. I don't know. I'm trying not to get too like wrapped up in this request was denied, Kid was denied, Ime was denied, all of these things. Like, and just see, to your point, Harrison, I think whether it's Mike Brown or Taylor Jenkins or Mike Malone or Pat Riley, whoever. I don't know. Like it's like it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like pretty sure we just need to shore up some like personnel things, and not make crazy fouls and become a more efficient scoring team. But I think it'll be all right. But yeah, hopefully it's not going back to the old, Dolan just doing what he wants to do, flying by the seat of his pants and doesn't have a plan. Because then we're in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get to that point quickly. It might slowly, like the slow decline. But the roster's too good still right now that I think they can still get, whatever serviceable coach and have a chance at conference finals and then roll the ball out and you never know.
Brendan, I always love to hear what you have to say about your Knicks.
Oh, my Knickerbockers here. I mean, I guess you guys know more obviously about basketball in the current state than I do. Like, why wouldn't it be Mike Malone, right? I don't understand. It just seems like that's like the connection is there, right? Like we were saying, New York City guy seems to be the type of guy that they want to bring in. What's the hesitation there? Like jumping through all these hoops and, getting denied access to kid and everything else. It's like, why are they going through all this when it seems like the answer is right there and readily available? Unless there's something that we don't know, that maybe Malone's not interested in the job. Who knows? But
so Malone is notoriously a little difficult to work with from, take it with a grain of salt because you got fired by the Kings and their owner is just unhinged.
Yeah, right. Sure is.
And there's still question marks on why the Nuggets let him go. Like that doesn't make any sense either. So maybe there is some stuff about Malone that we don't quite know. And Malone and Thibodeau are very similar. They're going to get a lot out of you early and probably burn out some guys later on. So I don't know if you go if you're going to fire Thibodeau to get the same exact thing, that might not be for them. But I think Mike Malone's a great coach, and he's the best one out there, in my opinion, as the insider.
Mark Jackson or Sam Cassell?
No.
I feel like
I really want Sam.
I was on that.
Mark
Jackson's
an insane
thing years ago.
There's a reason he's been blackballed in the league. I've talked about it in another chat. But I'm serious about Sam Cassell, though. I'm really serious about that. Very much so.
I mean, he's never been a head coach.
But he's been an assistant coach on now multiple, I think, championship teams, and he's had a phenomenal career himself. He knows ball. Why not? Why not? Kevin Durant, he knows ball. That's all he thinks about is basketball. And he prefers to play basketball with the Miami Heat, the Spurs, or the Rockets. I'm very surprised that the Timberwolves aren't on this list. I'm very surprised with that.
Me too. Me too.
Because I think that honestly is the best fit for me in my thoughts. But I also believe that if he goes to the Rockets, it might be night for a lot of teams. I still feel the same way if he goes to the Timberwolves. Him and that's Ant's favorite player. He believes he's the greatest player ever and looks up to him. And he's the only player that he said he's ever looked up to. So they have a great relationship. And I mean, Kevin Durant is – I forgot who said it, but Kevin Durant is the only player currently in this league right now that can play on any team and conform to any system because he can get his own shot at any point in time and can flow in any system. Kevin Durant is that damn good. So I don't wherever he goes, it's going to level up whatever team, but I don't want to see him in Miami. I just think that looks disgusting. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm also over the Miami Heat culture.
I don't know how they're going to get him.
I don't either.
They don't have anything to get him.
No.
The Rockets, you said the Rockets would be just filthy. I mean,
would.
Talk about old school defense, Hayes. Like that's a team that'll limit you to 80, but they might not be able to score 81. And you get KD there. And, again, hopefully the piece, you're probably going to have to give up, Jalen and, all those
Which I'm
picks
sure they don't want to do, but.
Yeah, you're going to have to Jabari, what's his name?
Yeah, Jabari Smith.
I almost said Jabari Parker.
Is he still around?
No. He's in Germany, I think.
Yeah, he's overseas, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you do that with the window that you have. Hopefully Thompson can, continue to make that ascension too. That would be dirty. And, hell, even have him next to Wemby too, that would be kind of nuts. But yeah, KD's the highest profile player that could kind of just morph to anything. Yeah, that's a great point.
I like the Spurs for him. I think if it was the Spurs, I think you don't have to give up the number 2 to get him. I think you have other things where you can get him, and then you could still possibly draft Dylan Harper, who I think is going to be an absolute baller. So I like the Spurs for him. he should want to go east again. Like there's openings there. So I just put this here. It's not much of a note. It's like Durant prefers this. Like, okay, cool. Like I prefer. I'll yeah. I won't say anything.
Smart.
Harrison, you said openings, right? Where there's an opening for DH with the Red Sox, and
wow, you're just transitioning.
Man.
Like what a wizard.
The segue king.
Masterclass.
there.
This is so good.
Rafael Devers.
They should write books about this. We should do
You make
podcasts about
maybe
this.
we
Honestly.
should.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be a good idea. The Red
Pod on pod.
we do a pod about the podcast. The Red Sox have traded DH Rafael Devers to the Giants for starting pitcher Kyle Harrison, right-handed pitcher Jordan Hicks, and outfield prospect James Tibbs. The Giants take on Devers full salary, which he signed a 10-year, $313 million deal before 2024. Brendan, I'm going to start with you. Now, we've talked about in our chat of all the trades that the Red Sox have made over the years and all the all-stars they have let go. And now there's another guy who is arguably their best hitter at this point in time. And now he's traded for nickels and dimes at this point, even though I know there is a good potential prospect in there. What is your thoughts on this trade?
Another Red Sox classic right here. I was shocked yesterday when I saw it come across the ticker. They sweep the Yanks. Devers goes yard in the last game there. They've been on a pretty good roll lately, too. I'm just looking up 8-2 over the last 10 games. This guy was, considered the face of your franchise. I understand all the drama early in the season, not wanting to move over to first and all of that, but wow, yeah. Talk about a lackluster return for one of the premier hitters in the game. And I know I texted you guys in our group chat here earlier, but the Sox having traded Devers, Mookie, a few years back, Price as well, the return they've gotten for these guys, for these superstars, has been awful. Just really quick.
Chris Sale won a Cy Young.
Yeah,
After. Yeah.
It's been insane. And I understand, there's the contract, there's the money, the business side of it, right? With Sale, there's the injury history and concerns about how much he had left in the tank. But they traded Mookie, David Price, Devers, Chris Sale for Alex Verdugo, Vaughn Grissom, who's just been a flop. Connor Wong had a good year last year, but he's turned back into a pumpkin this year. Jeter Downs, Jordan Hicks, and Kyle Harrison. Red Sox Nation must be livid. Because there's a domino effect here too, right? I mean, you're essentially saying that we're throwing in the towel on this season. Again, he was the face of the franchise. I understand they have a lot of great young prospects coming up, but they're going to take a couple of years to really develop and mature and even get to that level of a Rafael Devers if that even happens, right? But now, also on the other side of it, the Giants, first of all, I love this for them. They've always had a tough time getting free agents, especially big bats in free agency. So this is huge for them. So I love this move for the Giants. Buster Posey, now the GM there, really making a mark on this team.
Wait. Like, potential future Hall of Famer Buster Posey is the GM there?
Yeah, he's like the president of baseball operation. Yeah.
You learn something new every day, folks. Learn something new.
There you go. But Buster's making his mark on the Giants. But now, I just read this before the pod here, Hayes. So you've been clamoring for an upgrade at third base for the Yanks. Now the question is, all right, well, Rafi didn't want to DH, didn't want to play first, or had an issue with DHing, didn't want to play first base in Boston. They have a Platinum Glove Award winner at third in San Francisco, Matt Chapman. And now what's going to happen here? Is Devers going to insist on still playing third? Is he not going to move across to first? Does that now make Matt Chapman available to someone like the Yanks? Interesting. What happens next here? But
I would find it absolutely comical if he decided to play first base for the Giants. I would just piss myself if he did.
I don't think you don't make this trade unless you
not at
think
all.
that.
Not at all. But I would
Especially if you have Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
I almost think even if he did still have an issue with it, he'd probably do it out of spite and say, you know what, I'll take one for the team here and I'll move across to first for the Giants. But then again, too, so the Giants also have one of the top prospects in the game, Bryce Eldridge, who is a left-handed power bat coming up I don't know if he'll get a shot this year. Most definitely, probably next year. So now what? Again,
I wouldn't make this trade without Bryce Eldridge, even though they were eating all that money. And I don't know if I texted you that, Brendan, but that was my initial thought was I like Kyle Harrison, but I'm not getting your best prospect, especially at a place I need in first base, because who knows what, Tristan Casas is hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm not getting him, I'm not doing it. But, here we are. The Giants have also spent $600 million on Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, and now Rafael Devers. So I don't know if that's a combination of three guys I want to spend $600 million on. But again, it is hard to get people to play for that team in that ballpark. So
yeah,
you make that trade if you're Buster Posey 10 out of 10 times.
100%.
But I got to go. Love you
Bye,
guys.
Sam.
Later.
Bye, Sam.
I just think just their track record for meeting the Red Sox is just not great with these trades. But to your point, Matt Chapman is my starting third baseman in the show for my Diamond Dynasty. So I know about him very, very well, and I would welcome that over and over again. Yeah, Cashman, go do your thing, please. And thank you in advance.
It would be something.
I'd be happy about that. I'd be very happy about that.
Yeah. But then again, too, the other side of it is I don't know how much stock I put in that room into that rumor because, again, Giants. This is a all-in type move, right? It's like, hey, we're going for it this year. We're competing. So I don't know. Do you trade a Matt Chapman at that point? Again, if Rafi isn't going to be happy, then maybe you do. But Chapman's also hurt right now. He's out for the next few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, I think they said. So maybe Rafi does play third initially, but it'll be interesting to see what happens, like what the fallout is of this deal. But it was a shocker for sure.
That it was. That it was. I want to make this next part very, very quick, at least from me. Shohei Ohtani will make his return to the mound tonight when we're recording this against the Padres and is expected to pitch a few innings to start the game. I don't care. I don't care about Shohei Ohtani pitching. I will just tell you that right now. I understand the legacy that he can create by being a pitcher and doing that. I'd much rather see what he does hitting and being able to play and stay healthy and be the absolute monster that he is. But I don't give a damn about him pitching. I understand the history that could be made and all that, but I also want to see him around. And I just think that is a very slippery slope of stretching yourself pretty thin. And that's all I have for that.
I'm interested in seeing what he looks like when he comes back. When he does throw tonight. Last time we saw him was in the baseball World Classic, I think, right? When he struck out Trout there. The guy pumps 100 miles an hour. So I'm always interested in seeing guys that throw that hard, right? So he's definitely a unicorn. I get what you're saying. I would rather see him play a full season and maybe just DH like he did last year and up until this point, if the pitching is going to be the issue and potentially limit how much we can see him. But, he's just that good that I'm definitely interested in seeing what he looks like tonight on the mound.
Yeah, I'll watch both. He'll be fine.
I hope so.
It's also interesting, hey, when their arms do get healthy, their starters do get the Dodgers, that is, maybe Ohtani's just a spot starter, or maybe he is an opener, to try and keep him fresh. I know there's always been the rumblings that maybe he turns into a closer because of, how hard he throws, but also trying to keep him healthy and keep his bat in the lineup. Who knows? It'll be interesting.
Don't let him be a closer because TJ would be right around the damn corner. That man, he's going to be like, I'm a closer. I'm coming throwing 120. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? I heard about this next part, and it's do you care? I don't care, but I'm just going to say America before I do this. Is JJ Spawn is how you say his last name? Spawn?
You got that right.
I did see that he sunk a 60-foot putt. I did see that.
He did.
And he had 2 putts to close out the U.S. Open, if I remember correctly. See, I know a little something. I don't watch that shit much, but I just know a couple things what I need to know. All right, just know that. But he won the U.S. Open. Again, I don't care, but I know these 2 gentlemen care. So
it was awesome. I mean, JJ Spawn, he's a journeyman golfer. Spent a good amount of time on the Korn Ferry Tour, which is like the minor leagues for golf phase. But he He still plays public golf in San Diego, I think, just like with the normal people because he's that grounded of a guy. It's just an awesome story, man. Like, he's got part Filipino, part Mexican, just kind of, making his way in the game, just doing it kind of the right way. He started the day off yesterday with 5 bogeys. So that course is notoriously brutally hard. I mean, all the players were saying all week it's the hardest course they'll ever play or ever seen. And that was with rain, and rain helps golfers. You're softening up the course. This course wasn't even firm and fast, which if it was, the winning score might have been +5, +6. But JJ starts to round off with 5 bogeys. He's looking like he's pretty out of it. The coverage basically dropped him from coverage. You didn't see him for a while. Then they have a rain delay because the storms kept pulling in. And he just pulls it together, man. And he makes a huge birdie on 17. And then follows it up with another birdie on 18 to just close it out and just wrap it up. So it was shocking. It was the longest putt anyone had made all week. So good time to do it. But it was just awesome, man. He was just kind of overcome with emotion, as you would expect from a guy that's never won a tournament like this. But that's what the U.S. Open does. That's what it's all about. I mean, 150,000 people try to qualify for this thing. Like, I could literally try to qualify for this thing. That's how it works. Like, you work your way up through. No shot.
You might.
But you work your, you work your way up through local qualifiers, and then some pros get exemptions, but you still got to work your way into it. And it's just the ultimate meritocracy. So the U.S. Open is always really cool. It always delivers on Father's Day. It was a little boring to watch throughout most of the rest of the week because all the guys were just making bogeys. Like, there was really no birdies to be had. It was that hard. But it really turned up at the end, and it was a really cool watch. So shout out to JJ Spawn.
I just want to let you know that every time I watch like a golf clip, I just think I go into Billy Madison mode, and I just think of like the power that would just come from the baseball swing. Is just like, I'm launching this. It probably wouldn't be accurate at all, but it's just going to be launched. Speaking of launching, some Glizzy is going to be launched very, very soon, and Joey Chestnut's going to be catching them down that gullet. Monday night, he announced. I'm sorry. He announced that he will be returning to the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest in 2025. He was banned in 2024 for a conflict of sponsorship with a plant-based meat bread.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read and seen. Yeah. That is hilarious.
When I read it, I was like,
there was no way I was not going to read that. Yeah. The Ron Burgundy and me had to read that. I don't care because Kobayashi just retired, and I don't know if you saw what Kobayashi said when he retired. He said, "I'm not hungry anymore," is what he said. It's the best thing to say to retire. Straight comedy, good for him. But I don't care. But for the podcast sake, I do care if it's going to be televised on Netflix again because I know it's just going to get Sam and Harrison amped. I don't know, Brendan, if you saw last year, but these two got amped off of it. And then we got play-by-play in the group chat about it. So just for that, I'm here for it. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can you not care about this? It's a national pastime.
It's America right here. This is, the Glizzy goat has returned.
It's all about it's gluttony. This is just competition. This gives me reason to live on July 4th.
Yeah. Wake up in the morning, you turn this on. You're proud to be an American.
I'm more excited for this than Shohei returning to the mound.
I know you are. You're not lying about that.
Yeah.
Like, Shohei can pitch. Like, that's fine. But we got Joey freaking Chestnut pounding Glizzies.
Glizzy goat. Yep.
This is must-see TV. I don't care.
Glizzy McGuire over here. What we got here? I'm sure by Brendan's comments he doesn't care. Harrison's definitely going to watch. I don't care.
100%. 100%.
And
we are so back.
I'm so not watching that. It's not even a do you care, but I'm just gonna say shout out to Michael Beasley for beating Lance Stevenson, and then shout out to Lance Stevenson for fighting Dwight Howard over the weekend. That was very, very interesting. And then Steven Jackson for just turning up and just going off in the locker room.
I think there's there's a solid place for 1v1s like that. Like they could turn that into
league
like
is going
boxing.
to blow up just because of
That's
to the fact that it's made it to Melo's
pretty awesome.
podcast, and he's been taught, and they're trying to get him to play. He's like, no, because he's like, I literally did that in the highest level, and then they try to get Joe Johnson to play against him, and he's like, I've scored 20,000 points in the league. Like, you're gonna put some respect on my name, and then he's out there just killing people. But I think that 1v1 league is going to be very, very entertaining going forward, and I think pretty soon that will get bought and will be on ESPN or something like that. Bleacher Report is going to be on there somehow, some way. But I think it's very, very interesting to see that happen. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, they did the big three, the 3-on-3, 1-on-1. It's
basketball is basketball.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm here for it.
On that note, gentlemen, is there anything you'd like to say before we get out of here?
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Yeah.
Y'all got to retire that soon. This is episode 174 of the Chasing Points podcast. You can listen to us on all major DSPs. We appreciate you for listening. Share this with your friends, your mom's mom, and all that stuff. And on that note, we're out of here. Bye.
See ya.
Peace.